Hi, hello everyone. Hello, Joe.
Hey,
We thought we'd just jump on, do a short one about business owners because we are business owners and their struggles. Because in everything we do, we're always trying to be real and authentic. And actually, a lot of the time, I get kind of a bit bored of seeing those posts about everybody smashing it each week and hitting their goals and all those things. I mean, we all do sometimes, and that's great. And it doesn't mean I don't want to celebrate other people's achievements,
of course.
but it's nice I like to see when other people are struggling, just because it makes me feel better. So we thought we'd cover three things in this video that we've come up against, which is loneliness in business, imposter syndrome, and resisting what seems difficult. So can you kick us off with imposter syndrome, Joe, please?
Yeah. I mean, look, we've all felt it. It's worth saying that in some respects, because of a business owner, you have to push boundaries. I mean, how many people are in a normal job and then suddenly are in front of a board of directors? You're suddenly the top person, the expert. So in some ways you are an imposter, but only in the situation and not as a person with skills. So, you go into areas that you don't know, and it makes you feel very intimidated because, getting caught out in front of important people that you see is a really, really not a nice thing. It's not what you want to be feeling. So I would suggest, my reasonable experience in the business world, you've got 10% in those people that are the kind of people that nothing shakes. And then everyone else would have felt imposter syndrome, and everyone else would have felt insecure, and everyone else wouldn't know, would have blagged in a moment where they didn't know, rather than say, I don't know. So, there is different ways of looking at it, but that's the way I see it. Everyone's going to feel that, and it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. And like you said, most of the time as a business owner, you're always evolving, trying to move forward and develop. So of course you're going to be in a situation you don't know. Of course you are. That's just the way it goes. There's always that thing of, like you said, I'm not important enough, or I shouldn't be in this room. But why not? Because you're the same level as everybody else. But you have this little sabotaging self-talk in your head, like, oh, I'm going to get found out. Am I a director? Am I a business owner? Am I? Oh, they look really professional, but they're just human beings. Like you said, 90% of people in that room would have thought exactly the same things, exactly the same.
You think about someone fronting up a multi-billion-dollar company. They sit in their office and think, I've just signed a form. If that doesn't go right, is millions on the line. Who am I to do that? And then what they do after that, because their experience kicks in and says, nope, I've done it before. It was absolutely fine. I know what I'm doing. They have a little chat with themselves and they crack on. But there's no way that these people are different to everyone else. There's no way they just happen to be in a position of power that's maybe different to yours, but they're not different inside. Everyone has those moments, wakes up and thinks, oh God, it's the big merger today, or whatever it is. So, it's okay to feel that. It's okay to say it. We're the kind of people, Caroline, and I'm proud of that. If someone said, look, I feel really nervous in this. I've never been here before. I've never been to board of directors, or I've never had this kind of meeting. I'm like, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good.
Exactly. I think the scenario with the big director, like I said, the multi-billion-pound company, they probably have that moment and they thought, I've assembled a great team around me. I've done this before. It's all right. But what if you don't have a great team around you, which leads us on to feeling lonely? You and I are quite lucky. We have our weeks where we're like, oh, not feeling it this week, can't do it. Oh, this isn't working. We can bounce off each other. But what if you're on your own in business? That's pretty hard. If you haven't got a team underneath you and you're responsible for everything, that is lonely.
I must say that was a nice segue. Segue, is that what it's called? Yeah, segue. That was
very
well moved in there.
I'm like a news anchor.
so I've been employed. I've been a freelancer. I've been a sole practitioner in a limited company, if that makes sense. And I've had a business partners, of which my current one is by far the best one. And we're kind of friends first before directors, which is, I think, quite important for us anyway.
Yeah.
So what does the loneliness mean? It's not, for me, it was never really about being on my own. It was more about people understanding what I was going through in those times that were difficult. So you can have a lot of people around you, not in business, let's say my family, for example, and I would say, oh, this person hasn't paid, or I've tried everything and they haven't paid. And you know, I would get answers back like, well, why don't you get a job? Or you know, why don't you? And it makes you feel like it's pointless. It makes you feel like, oh yeah, okay, all right, well, you know, all that work I did up until now. And when I say it to a room full of people, they're like, yeah, just get a job. It makes you feel really, really on your own. And it's really
Yeah.
important. So these networking meetings and those kind of things, I don't see networking as a way to sell things. I see a networking event or talking to other business owners as a way of someone saying, damn, I get that. You know, it's like mums in the playground, dads in the playground.
Oh,
You know, I
yeah.
used to say I haven't slept for 7 days or whatever. And another dad would be like, God, I'm the same. And it's just that moment where someone's like, I understand. So sorry,
Yeah.
rattling on a bit, but yeah, Caroline, loneliness and business for you.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. It's just that space of someone else saying it doesn't change the fact that you're tired if you're in your parent, but in business, but then you think, oh, okay, cool. This is a normal struggle.
Yes.
This is a usual thing that people go through. And we do hear that quite a lot with people we meet, which is why actually we've just started offering conversation as part of our package, because we hear that so much, don't we? And people say, oh, you're really lucky you've got a business partner. I think, well, yeah, I am actually, because it's hard. It's very hard. Because when you just need to get out of your own head a lot of the time.
I was just,
you know, you're inside your own head having this whole circular chat, and you actually could do it bouncing off someone else, like at a networking event or a business partner. So yeah. The other thing
sorry, Caroline, I'm always in trouble. It is that narrative that spirals down, you know, and it feeds into that imposter syndrome and everything like that. Should I be here? What am I doing? Taking everything personally. Because you've got no one else to go, whoa, it's fine. You know, it's okay. It's fine. We've had instances before where we put a proposal in. One of us might be saying, oh, you know what, we'd like to get a proposal. And the other one just says, it is what it is. We've done our job. You know, what's not to like? That have confidence that we'll get it. So it's just those little moments that stop that spiral, basically.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah, and I think actually, yeah, the final thing probably is a little bit about that, resisting what seems difficult. Like it might be decisions around a proposal. Do we do that? What if we don't get it? What if it's too much? Or personal stuff, like we've just set ourselves goals this week for each other to be accountable, because we felt like, yes, we're doing stuff, but are we accountable? You know, either to ourselves or to each other. My biggest thing I had to get past before we went into business was planning. Just did not want to plan a single thing. Just didn't. And I had to dig right down into why was I not going to plan? It made no sense. So I had to work on that. I'm sure you've got other things you've resisted because they seem difficult.
God, some days it seems like it's everything, Caroline. It's opening the computer. No, I obviously I love what we do, but it's a weird thing, isn't it? Because more often than not, 99 out of 100, when I've resisted doing something and then done it, I always think to myself, what was I worried about?
I know.
It's an odd thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think there's a resistance in general in business not to challenge the hard things, to have a stock. Like advertising is always a bugbear for me, because there's enough people out there that people can just chuck something out, and that's an example of just not having a resistance to really trying to think about your customers and just thinking, oh, that works over there, so we'll try it. You know, you see that all the time, the same adverts for similar products and services. So how do you combat that? I just start it. The narrative in my head is this: it needs to be done, and no one else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So start it, and even do one of the techniques I use is do the easy bits. So when I was at university and I was writing an essay, I would write the essay and the introduction, and then I'd put one keyword for each paragraph and go off and do something and then come back. And then I go, well, I'm kind of started now, so I'll do the next paragraph, and then go off and come back. So, yeah, my advice, as I say, you know, we are very experienced business people, but we're not experts in everything. My advice is to start it with the view to finishing it at some point. You know, you've got to do it, and no one else is going to do it. I don't know if that's good advice, but that's what I do.
No, same for me. My mum always says to me, stop procrastinating. And I think, yeah, she's right. I'm just putting this off. And exactly as you said, just to finish off, it's never as bad as you think it is.
No.
You resist it for ages and then you do it. And you think, why the hell did I put that off? Because it's not that bad.
Yeah. Everyone listens to this. If I say the word accounts or VAT, everyone will be going, I put that off all the time. But it's true. And but it's because you kind of convince yourself, because you start off in a place that you don't like doing it, you convince yourself it's a massive thing, but it's not. It's just, if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it, but just get it done. You know, as in, sorry, just get it done. I've been told off so many times saying that expression. What I mean is you have to get it done. And as a business owner, you've got no choice. So just employ some techniques that make it slightly easier. Go away, come back, get a coffee, give yourself breaks, put it over 2 days. But if it stays on your list, it becomes something that gets you down every time you look at your list, and you don't want that.
Yeah. Or I tell myself the power hour. I'm going to be distracted by nothing. I'm going to do 1 hour, even if I don't get it done, just 1 hour where I'm on that. And then you just psychologically feel better and it doesn't feel as hard. No,
exactly. And you always think, oh God, what was I worried about? Proposals for me are the big thing. When I write a proposal, so here's it all in one go. Imposter syndrome alone the lot. So someone says to me, we're a big company, we want to do your proposal. And I'm thinking, right, I've got to do a big proposal now. It's not just, not that I take time on all proposals, but you know, the ones where it's a lot of explanation. And I'm thinking, oh God, because I freehand a lot of stuff. I don't use a lot of templates in proposals. I use a little bit, but I freehand it and think about it. And this is one of our strengths, Caroline, is it not? Mm-hmm. We take everything on its own value. And I spend as much time as I can not doing it. And then I'll do it within 3 hours and I'll read it back and I'm like, ooh, check me out. That's not bad at all. And I think, come on, every time. But yeah, sorry, rattling on again. But yes, so sorry, go on. You finish up. Sorry.
Good, honest chat. That's our strength. Authentic and honest. And we're not the finished article and we don't have all the bloody answers, and nor does any business owner. That's what I'd say. And they know they don't. But it's okay to feel that, because we definitely do.
Yeah, and just to finish off, it's what we're saying is we're good at what we do and we're good at strategy. But really, sometimes, you know, sitting down with us is just getting that perspective. It's a reminder of how much you haven't done, the little bit that you haven't done that you know you have to do, that will help you through to get your content strategy sorted out, to get your marketing strategy sorted out, to understand your final bit of your customer, that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're nice people. Sit down with us. You know.
Yes, we are. We're wonderful.
We are. I'm sure
you can't say anything else now.
Thanks, Caroline. That was awesome, as always.
Thanks, Joe.
Cheers.